of her own medicine.
All right, so that's Jocelyn.
Okay. And sometimes that don't even help.
Okay. Children survived 40 days in a Colombian jungle.
Yes, yes.
On Friday in the dead of night, at the heart of the Colombian jungle, army radios crackled to life with the message that the nation had been praying for. Miracle, 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 miracle. The military code revealed that 4 children missing in the jungle for 40 days had all been found alive.
That's a blessing.
The youngsters, all members of the indigenous Hutotu people, I don't know, had been missing since the light plane they were traveling in crashed in the Amazon in the early hours of May 1st.
Wow.
The tragedy killed their mother and left the children aged 13, 9, 4, and 1.
1 years old.
Stranded alone in an area teeming with snakes, jaguars, and mosquitoes.
All kinds of insects, yep.
Rescuers initially feared the worst, but footprints, partially eaten wild fruit, and other clues soon gave them hope that the children might be alive after they left the crash site looking for help. Over the next 6 weeks, the children battled the elements and the odds in what Colombia's president, Petro, called an example of total survival, which will remain in history. Lord, what did we start off with by saying? God says when it's your time to go and when you don't go. And so God said, it's not your time.
Those kids was in survivor mode. That is beautiful.
If there were ever children well prepared to tackle such an ordeal, this family were the ones. The people learned hunting, fishing, gathering from an early age. And their grandfather told reporters that the eldest children, Leslie and Solony, were well acquainted with the jungle.
With the jungle. That's what the dad said too. Isn't that something?
The children's aunt said that the family would regularly play survival games together growing up. They was being prepared for this. When we played, we set up little camps, she called. 13-year-old Leslie said. We knew what fruits to eat and which ones not to. We knew which ones were poisonous. And she said, and they taught her how to take care of the baby.
That was good.
After the crash, Leslie built a makeshift shelter from branches held together with her hair ties. She gathered fruit. It said, in the plane. You said they ate stuff that was from the plane. The children survived on flour until it ran out, and then they ate seeds.
40, how many days?
40 days.
40 days.
Now, I looked up the word 40 because you know the word 40.
It's
symbolic. The number 40 is has a symbolic in the Bible. The number 40 is a very special number. It's associated with change, new beginnings, and a fresh start.
Yes. Isn't that beautiful? God had his hand on them. And we don't know sometimes
it says God flooded the earth for 40 days and nights. 40 days. Moses fasted for 40 days. And Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days. Yeah. Overall, it's a number associated with testing and the hardships one must endure to become more spiritually aware.
And we don't know the background of this family, but a lot of times we don't realize when we are learning something or going through something where we're learning something or experiencing something that could be preparing us for something coming up,
preparing you,
and you pass the test. You like, God, that's why you had me do this. Go there and pay this and buy that. And
going back to DC Young Fly, he said something similar to that in the speech.
What did he say?
He said something along the lines, you get tested. Look, these tests come along the way. So when it's time for you to get the big test, you ready because you taken all these little pre-tests.
Yes. And you prepared for it. You're
prepared. He said God has been preparing him.
Wow. That's beautiful.
You see what I'm saying? So I thought that was wonderful.
I don't think I would survive in that.
No. But what it did tell me is, again, I told y'all, like, we have this preparation channel. Yeah, God keeps saying prepare. prepping. No, I don't want to live out in the Amazon and do all of that. But God is telling us ahead of time, this life that you have right now is not going to always be like this.
That's right.
So you need to prepare. You need to have things in order, not only spiritually, but physically. If your electricity went out, how would you survive?
Thank you. Some people.
I always tell people the easiest way to be a prepper, just think about going camping. Just think about going camping.
No electricity.
If you had to be outside in the winter and in the summer, could you survive? Do you have a tent? Do you have a backup? If your tent messes up, how are you going to use the washroom? What you going to eat? All of that. Just think about going camping and make sure that will help you in your mind to think, okay, we need to be prepared. Okay. Emerald says, wow, just amazing how good Lord works. Isn't that something?
That's a beautiful testimony. That man is so happy them kids are back.
Oh,
he lost his wife, but he lost his wife.
Okay, so speaking of another man.